Ian Douglas here from Hoops Hype Canada 2013 at the legendary Falstaff Community Center. Stomping grounds to many elite players, Tristan Thompson, Corey Joseph. Here to talk to Grassroots founder Ro Russell, just to catch up and get the inside scoop on the legendary program and organization and what's its future endeavors. We're here with Ro Russell, basketball mogul in GTA. Ro Russell, thanks for the exclusive interview. Grassroots, founder, how did it all start for you?
Well, basically, back in '89 is where I had the idea of AAU and helping kids to realize their opportunities. And we went in our first tournament in '91. Start to train with the guys, start to have workouts with the guys and scrimmages to get the mentality, prepare them for AAU. And '91 is when we got started. We called ourselves Toronto Elite before Grassroots, and we went from there.
Now let's be honest. Grassroots has been around for 20 plus years. There's been other AAU programs that have got quite a buzz within the city. But on the next level, Grassroots has always been there and has always excelled and has produced athletes and put them to the next level, whether it's pros or it's colleges. What would you say to youth or kids that are aspiring to get?
Well, the first thing that I would tell aspiring student athletes is that Grassroots over the years has helped a lot of student athletes. So we have a great track record. We're going to get results done. We've got contacts. We've had over 200 guys go to Division I. We've had a bunch of guys play overseas, and we have a few guys in the NBA. And so it's not just talk, we've actually did it. And we're continuing to do it. We've been through some ups and downs, and we've still been able to remain a vibrant program, still helping youth. We're growing, we're expanding, so that shows that people are still doing their research and seeing all the great things we can do for them. So to come to a Grassroots program, you're coming to a program that's been tested, and we're still going to move forward and work with them regardless. And so even though other programs are doing great jobs out there, no one has done it the way we have for as long as we have, and we're going to keep on doing it for many more years.
Now, would you say that Denim Brown was the one to really get Grassroots going, or bring the program to another level as towards Grassroots? Was it Denim Brown that got Grassroots going?
Absolutely. We've had some very good players in the '90s that have gone on to Division I and played professional basketball, but it was Denim Brown who really, got his name out there in national ranking. He was top 15 in America, scored 42 points against the USA team with Carmelo Anthony. Played in the Jordan Brand Classic, was offered by UConn and a lot of top programs in America, and he kind of brought it to the next level. And he's
11 points in a high school basketball game his senior year. People have said that he had to be selfish, took all the shots. The team that he played was not up to par. What does Ro Russell say about that?
Well, having watched that game many times, I can tell you that his teammates were the ones that said, "Hey, Denim, after 38 points in the first quarter, maybe you could make some history today." And another player on that team scored 36 points as well. So it wasn't just Denim taking all the shots. He hit a lot of shots. He hit 16 threes, and he shot maybe 65% from the field. So it was just one of those games that happened, and everything just flowed. And the team they played against was a second place in their league, and it was a Toronto-based city team.
Okay, so let's rewind a bit. Denim Brown, University of Connecticut. Tristan Thompson, Corey Joseph, University of Texas. DeVoe Joseph, University of Oregon. Dwight Powell, Stanford University. The list goes on and on. And you can be humble about it. You can be humble about it, but I say, why be humble about it? You got to take credit for it. But what's your relationship like with these guys now? What is Ro Russell doing with them? Are you still talking to them on a daily basis? Do they remember the program? What's your relationship like?
Well, we maintain a very strong relationship with most of my former alumni, and some of them have come back and given their time. Some have done clinics, spoke to our kids. Some have donated, like Tristan Thompson just made a very substantial donation to our program this summer. And our guys call, tweet, you know, find out what's going on with the team. How do you guys do in Vegas? You know, what's happening with the team and everything. Some guys ask how I'm doing. Some guys ask me to come watch them play. So I maintain a very strong relationship with most of our guys as much as I can. We have so much alumni that sometimes you forget about some of them, but we do our best to try to watch them play. They're in college, the NBA, just reach out to them and everything like that. So, you know, we've done a lot for these guys. We've been in the gym with them on a daily basis. We've driven hundreds of miles for these guys. We've went to bat for them. We've done a lot for these guys, so I know they remember and I know that they want to give back to help them.
So despite the legacy and despite your extensive resume with the alumni, I mean, why all the backlash? I mean, is it the lack of recognition from the media? Is it for the fact that your alumni are not speaking on your behalf? Or is it because it's just 2013 and you're not as active with social media?
I think it's all of the above. You know, I think that being old school, we haven't been really out there as much as we should be, and to really show what we're doing, what we're all about, the support that we've been getting from our parents, and the things our players have been doing, and you know, even the clinics that we've had. Like, we should have put out there about the clinics where these guys have come through, and to show, you know, the great things we're doing for our program. I also think that because we've sort of over the years stepped on a lot of toes, because our main focus is to help kids, and sometimes it's at the expense of other organizations, and we've gotten backlash from them about it. And I think a matter of time before the mainstream media buys into it and sees what we really are, that we're a very positive and wholesome organization.
But 08 was a special time for you in Vegas, Super 64. You want to touch base on that championship that you got in 2008?
Yeah, we made history that summer in 08. We had a team that will go down in history as the best AU team in Canadian history, and proofs in the pudding. We lost only 2 games that whole summer. One of them without Tristan Thompson, another one with an injured Tristan Thompson, and the odds were against us, and with all the odds, we still were able to come out on top in Vegas.
Well, say some names of that team, because I mean that had to be obviously a special team, one of the highlights. I mean, in the 22 years that you guys have been around, who are some of the players that were on that team?
Well, it was a great team. Every single one of those players signed a Division I scholarship, which has hardly ever been done before. Tristan Thompson, Mike Kabongo, Corey Joseph, but he wasn't at the Vegas tournament, but he was on the team. Dwight Powell, Junior Cadogan, Jason Caliste, Ronaldo Dixon, Brady Heslop, Kadeem Colby, Rob Gagliardi, and Owen Bigby. And everybody knew their role, and everybody was there for one purpose: to prove that Canadians can ball as well. And our goal was to tear down the basketball borders and give opportunities to Canadians as well.
Now, to set the record straight, in 2009 you did have a phenom by the name of Andrew Wiggins. Is that true?
Yes, we did. Andrew started to play for our AU program, and we used to come in to Falstaff Community Center in North York and train with him on a daily basis. And he played with us for that whole summer, and we brought him up to Vegas, even though he was still 14 years old, and even played him some, even though he played with the 15s and 16s, we played him up with the 17s, and then you saw that this kid was going to be special and do great things in basketball.
So how do you factor that in? How do you come up with that? I mean, here's a kid, probably not fully developed, and 14, young kid, very green, fresh. How does Ro Russell see potential talent? Because let's face it, Andrew Wiggins he's the next star. How did you see that? How was Ro Russell able to trigger that this kid was going to be special?
Working him out almost every day, and seeing how quickly he picked up things, and seeing him go up against guys that were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years older than them in practice, you were able to see that this kid is similar to the development of guys in the United States like LeBron James and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that he's the next LeBron James, but he had attributes similar to a LeBron James in terms of, just things that you can't teach. Physical gifts, quick jumping ability. His third jump was as quick as his first jump, and just things that he did at a young age against older guys that you're saying that with constant development, this kid is going to be the next.
Now with Andrew Wiggins, obviously. Okay, so Andrew Wiggins, you had him at 14, but you see highlights all over YouTube where he's wearing a CIA Bounce jersey. People want to know, was there a falling out? Was it just a better move for Andrew Wiggins? Did CIA Bounce have something better to offer? Because, Grassroots has been around. They haven't gone anywhere. So what was the deal with Andrew Wiggins wearing a CIA Bounce jersey?
Well, CIA Bounce, which is a top program in AAU, and they've done a great job in working with their guys and give them opportunities and exposure. When Andrew was younger and he went to prep school in the United States, it was young for him, and it didn't work out the way that it should have. And when he came back to continue his education in Toronto, and I was down in the United States, there was a time frame where he sort of migrated over to CIA Bounce, and I wish him all the great things out there, and CIA Bounce has done a great job with him, and more power to them.
Okay, so 2013, Grassroots, Ro Russell founder. Moving forward, what direction is Grassroots going?
We're moving up and up. We're heading for some big things this coming year. We're restructuring our infrastructure. Farley Flex, prominent production manager, is going to be stepping in place to be our new president. We're adding some other coaches to the mix, and we're adding new teams to the program as well. We're getting influx of communication from parents and student athletes all across Canada, even in the United States, that want to come on board to our program. So we have some exciting and new things that we're going into. I myself has decided to embark on another great opportunity in the United States to coach at a private prep school down there, and to try to help student athletes both in Canada, US, and overseas to have a great high school experience, to train and play some great competition and get some very high level competition and exposure. So we're doing a lot of things, and we're excited about the coming years. Grassroots not nowhere done. We have a lot more back left in the tank.
Now, there's always, with these kids nowadays, there's always hype, there's always some type of buzz. I know his name, but I don't want to say it because I want you to say it, so that way we hear from Ro Russell himself. But who's the next buzz? Who's the next buzz in Grassroots? Next big name in Grassroots?
I would have to say Shakir Daniel, 6'3", 6'4", guard, plays on our 13 and under AU team. Done great things in the John Lucas camp. They ranked him number 3, number 4 in America in the 2018 class. Great kid, great work ethic, very good student, team player, and bleeds Grassroots. And I think that Shakir Daniel will be a major name that people will talk about and hear about in the years to come.
There you have it, 2013 Grassroots at this point. Exclusive interview with Ro Russell. Ro, appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Ian Douglas, Hoops Hype Canada, here at the legendary Falstaff Community Center with Patrick Shaw. Patrick Shaw, thanks for the interview. When did you get started with Falstaff?
Came here from New Jersey in 1991. My aunt lived in the first building, which was 20 building. And in America, I used to work for the Boys and Girls Club, YMCA. So when I got here, I came here, started to play ball, seen the need for some help, asked if I could volunteer. So I was volunteering here for like the first 6 months, for about 5 hours a week, just helping out. Then I'd fly back over across the border, and then start to have some kids. So I said, let me put some roots down. So it was too hard to go back and forth. So I said, let me stay. So the person who was running here at the time, I said, listen, I'm gonna volunteer some more time. So it went from like 5 hours to about 30 hours a week. Wow. And then we started doing things, putting stuff on, and she said, I'm gonna have to hire you. So make some stuff happen. So,
done deal.
So she hired me. I was doing about 30 hours a week. You know, the concept with Falstaff was real bad. Only the people from the community or the older heads could come here. So I didn't like that concept. You know, I wanted kids to be in here. I wanted you to feel safe coming here from any community.
Well, let's touch on that. I mean, it is true. On the street, the word is Falstaff has a bad rap because of the community. What do you think about the community? I mean, being here for 22 years, there's got to be something that you love about the people around you.
I like the fact that you can come in here and you can see any culture, any race, any creed, any socio-economic level, which is good. Like, we've had millionaires walking here, and then we had people who had nothing living on the street coming here. So that's what I wanted to foster. I didn't want them to think that this is just the ghetto community center. This is a community center for anybody. And if you walk in here at any given time, which you guys have been here for a few hours today, you see there's about 30 things happening at the same time. You're seeing different cultures, different colors. Everybody's having a great time, right? And it's not just about basketball. It's about the family atmosphere, right? You know, we're doing a clothing drive to give away stuff. We're doing a barbecue for the youth right now that came out of the older heads' pockets right now. Nobody's sponsoring that. We all put in $50, $60 and we're gonna make it happen, right? Clothing is being donated from people we know. Like, so those are the type of things we do, like all day, every day. It's not like a one-off because you guys are here. This was planned months in advance.
So in terms of yourself helping out and other adults in the community helping out with the clothing drive and having cookouts and so forth for kids, I mean, people that have started when you were here, 1991, all the way up till now, kids that you've seen come through, maybe programs or just for drop-ins or whatever the case may be, do you see people coming back? Or is it always good to, if people do come back, is it always great to see faces now that they're grown and developed? And
it's a weird thing because my wife works for the airlines, and when she says her name, people are like, I think I know your husband. You know, I know he works at Falstaff. He did some good things for the kids.
Nice.
And I always tell her, it's not just me. There's always a unit. There's also a crew. There's a bunch of people who are helping this make happen. And now we've been seeing for the last 10, 15 years, kids that we used to help. Now they're parents and they're bringing their kids back. You know, they've moved out of the quote unquote hood. Now they're parents. You know, they've out of it, but they're still driving back from Barrie, from Niagara Falls, from out on the West Coast, across the border. Like, they're still coming back for the summer. Like, we had a kid, his father moved his whole family to Florida, but his son was here every day from the summer all the way back. He's been in Florida, like, so they come back. And they want their kids to get an experience that they had or they could have had, but they were either in too much trouble or they were afraid or what. Now they're like, oh yeah, I want to be involved. So it's a good feeling to see that happen, right? And some of the older heads, when I got here, that were trying to start stuff, I think I just came here at the right time, right moment, with, you know, a couple more ideas than they had. But there was guys here who were before me who were trying to foster stuff, who had fostered stuff. So it's like I'm stepping on their shoulders, and then now it's just, you know, it's continually growing, right?
so basically, once you have Falstaff in your heart, it's hard to let go of the stomping grounds, foundation.
It's hard because, like, a lot of these guys will say, like, they come back. Even the NBA players, when they were locked out, they were here training until stuff happened, right? We didn't look at them as NBA players. We remember them as players, the Tristans, the Coreys, the Mike Kabongos, you know. You look at even the associations who were being led by different guys like the Mike Georges, you know, the Sean Grays. They used to play in leagues here when they were younger.
Yeah,
like, you know, they were doing things that, you know, we had organized.
Well, yeah, let's touch on that because, I mean, I don't think you guys are running it anymore, but even as a kid, I remember Falstaff used to have some legendary summer basketball tournaments. And I mean, we had household names that actually came in this vicinity, for you viewers at home, this gym, and actually play their hearts out in the summertime, whether they're coming back from their various schools in the States, or even if they're just around or they're doing still things in their communities or working. I mean, talk about those summer league basketball tournaments that Falstaff was always well known for.
I'll give you one more than that. We had a league that was run on bare bones. That was a whole fall winter league, and then it went right into the summer, where when we did a one-off league for the guys who came back, it was almost like a tournament type league. And the comparison, like I said, I've been to Rucker, I lived in Florida for a while, so I seen the ones in Biscayne where that was crazy. Like, it was comparable, and that's what we try to have, that kind of fun, not too serious in terms of like it's not life and death, but they played it like life and death. And every big name, even names I didn't even know before I got here, who were high school legends, played in it. And we had some battles, and it was battles of kids all the way from out east, all the way as far as out west, and they brought their teams and they played every night, and it was a good mix, that because I was trying to foster the 18, 19-year-olds being able to play against the older guys. So we had some 30, we had some high school like Phil Dixon would come in there and shoot
legend,
shots from
by
half.
the way, for those who don't know, Phil Dixon, legend, basketball legend in the 80s.
Yeah, and he would shoot shots from half court. He came in with his team. Like, you had the guys who were quote unquote, gangsters. But they came here and they respected the spot. Like, we had territorial rivals where people were so afraid. Like, we had Jada Finch and Bathurst. Jungle. Playing ball. We had Regent Park.
Rexdale.
We had Rexdale. We had Scarborough. They all had their territorial teams, and they came here and respected the spot. And I can be honest with you, in the almost 10 years that we did that league, it was 2 fights. And there wasn't no fight that you would say was a fight. Guy pushed each other, another guy pushed each other, and then it was broken up.
That was done.
Let's go, don't respect the spot. So those are the type of things that happen. And it's just, if we could have videotaped, if we were in the age where the videotape was going, it would be crazy. So it's right here, it is legendary.
So it's good to see pockets, certain areas all over the GTA that are situated just like Falstaff, but maybe located in the east or even maybe more west of Falstaff.